Channel 11 News starts with severe weather Team 11 coverage.
No rain right now, but Storm Tracker Doppler 11 radar is tracking showers and storms for later today. Let's get right to meteorologist Scott Harbaugh pinpointing when that rain and even some high winds are going to be moving into your neighborhood.
Yeah, first thing we're going to have to worry about is the rain and the potential of thunderstorms. Temperature keeps coming up. Still no wind, although that wind will begin to pick up shortly. 68 degrees as we look live in downtown Pittsburgh with Tower Camp. There's the rain to the southwest, leading edge coming through the coal fields of Kentucky and West Virginia. You can see the cloud cover pouring in ahead of it with the visible satellite. So cloud cover is going to be a bit more abundant as we go through the afternoon. We start the afternoon dry, but notice on Storm Tracker by 5 o'clock, rain starts coming in. These areas of yellow and orange that are starting to pop up. Could be a couple embedded thunderstorms with wave 1 that comes through this evening. We're going to get outside this afternoon. Still a good several hours as temperatures push into the 70s, but showers start to arrive about 5 o'clock. I'm putting together some graphics right now to show you when I expect the best chance of thunderstorms, plus where the winds are going to gust in excess of 50 miles per hour by tomorrow morning. I'll have that for you coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, thanks, Scott. New COVID cases in Allegheny County are back down today after an alarming report yesterday. The health department is reporting 283 new cases. Yesterday, there were nearly 500 new cases, and that was the highest daily case count since mid-January. The Allegheny County Health Department is making changes to its vaccination plan. A new system will roll out next week, allowing eligible people to pre-register for vaccines. Then they'll be contacted when appointments are available. And the county says it will now vaccinate everyone who falls under the state's Phase 1A criteria. As for the spike in cases yesterday, the county's 7-day rolling positivity rate has increased to 6% from 5.4% the week before. The health director says many of the new cases are younger people.
From our case investigations, we hear that people are gathering with friends in larger groups than even a few weeks ago. And many of the gatherings are without masks. There are large groups at many different establishments and less physical distancing than is recommended.
Dr. Bogan also said there are 33 confirmed cases of the UK variant in Allegheny County. We also learned vaccines in Allegheny County appear to be very effective. Early data indicates out of a sample of 74,000 people fully vaccinated in the county, only 31 tested positive for COVID after their second dose. New at noon, the White House says it's dedicating another $10 billion to boost COVID vaccines. That money is part of the coronavirus relief package passed earlier this month. We'll take a closer look at how that money is being divided up coming up in our next half hour. Dr. Rachel Levine has made history. The former Pennsylvania health secretary is the first openly transgender person to win a Senate confirmation. She now has a seat in the Biden administration as the Assistant Secretary of Health. Democrats unanimously approved the nomination, and only 2 Republicans voted for her. Pennsylvania's Republican Senator Pat Toomey voted against Levine's nomination, and he issued a statement saying she has not earned this promotion. Toomey was critical of how she handled the pandemic in Pennsylvania, specifically outbreaks at nursing homes and the extended lockdowns that he says hurt the state economy. We just learned that a man found shot in Perry South has died. Police say they found Cordell Davis collapsed on Bright Ridge Street at about 10 o'clock last night. The Dravosburg man was rushed to the hospital with a gunshot wound to the head. In the past 20 minutes, the medical examiner sent us a release saying that Davis died about an hour after the shooting. Pittsburgh police were also called to Woods Run Avenue in Brighton Heights at around midnight. Shots were fired in the parking lot of Rumors Sports Bar. No one was hurt. At this point, no arrests have been made in either incident. Walking the beat. Pittsburgh's police chief, Scott Schubert, wanted to make sure he knew Pittsburgh's neighborhoods, so he's walked through every single one of them, and that's a lot of miles. Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond has more on how Pittsburgh's top cop is getting to know his neighbors.
Off the top of your head, without Googling it, how many neighborhoods does the city of Pittsburgh have? If you guessed 90, you are correct. Next question, how many of them have you been to? Pittsburgh Police Chief Scott Schubert says he could quickly count all 90 of them.
Even though I completed in 90 communities, I'm not done. I'm just going to keep doing it. That's how much it means to me.
In the fall, Chief Schubert made a decision and a commitment, and on the first day of spring, he fulfilled that commitment. He spent about 3 hours in each neighborhood, racking up about 600 miles. Chief Schubert says it's all about community policing and building relationships.
It was something that meant a lot to me. It meant as police, we're a part of the community, and the community is a part of us. So just being out, being available, learning from people gives you a whole new perspective on the community.
Chief Schubert talked to countless people about their concerns. He also documented his journey. I'm working on that part of the story for Channel 11 News at 5. Plus, what sparked his decision to do this. Reporting in the Hill District, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
After more than a year on the run, police have arrested a man they say is connected to a shooting in McKeesport. Kayshawn Brown is accused of shooting at a car full of people, including a 13-year-old. Video from last March shows Irwin Street blocked off. One person in the car was shot several times but survived. Brown was arrested Tuesday at a home in Duquesne. With tensions running high across the country, police say a man armed with several weapons went into an Atlanta supermarket yesterday. Officers were called in. They say he was carrying 5 firearms, 2 long guns, and 3 pistols, along with body armor. The 22-year-old was taken into custody and charged with reckless conduct. The suspect in the deadly Boulder mass shooting made his first court appearance this morning. He faces 10 charges of first-degree murder, and prosecutors say they will be filing more charges in the next couple of weeks. Officials say it will be a lengthy prosecution. Today, the defense asked for more time to prepare its case. NBC's Steve Patterson has the latest developments from Boulder.
Yeah, this morning, 21-year-old Ahmad Alicia had his first appearance in court. The judge ruling and reaffirming that Alicia would be held without bond on those 10 counts of first-degree murder. A little bit of a wrinkle here. The defense waiving the right to a speedy 35-day preliminary hearing, instead asking the judge for an additional time. The judge granting an additional 60 to 90 days. The defense saying essentially that they needed more time to get their defense together. Meanwhile, in court, we didn't know if the suspect would appear from jail or from court. He was physically in court wearing that blue jail smock, the face mask to protect him from COVID, as he listened to some of the proceedings inside there, maybe lasting 5 or 6 minutes. Outside of court, the district attorney told us that there would be additional charges to come in this case, although no specification as to what those charges or counts would be. Last thing to note is that the public defender in this case, representing obviously the suspected shooter, is the same public defender that was in the Planned Parenthood shooting, the same public defender that was in the Aurora Theater mass shooting as well. So obviously some experience handling high-profile cases. I'm Steve Patterson, NBC News.
The gun industry is preparing for a surge of sales. This comes as some lawmakers call for stricter gun laws in the wake of the latest mass shootings. This is nothing new. Research groups have found whenever there are moves for gun control, people buy more guns for fear that they won't be able to again. We won't know just how many guns are sold until data on federal background checks is released next month. More than 16,000 migrant kids are currently in government facilities, and President Biden is tasking Vice President Kamala Harris with addressing the issue. She's leading efforts with Central American countries to stop the surge of migrants at the southern border. Last week, the Mexican government announced it was imposing new measures at its southern border and would only permit crossings it deemed essential. Despite the restriction, migrants were seen pouring into small border towns yesterday. They had traveled across a river by boat from Guatemala. The scene repeats day and night, according to local authorities. President Biden will give his first news conference as commander-in-chief today. That is set for 1:15. The president has been criticized for not holding a press conference. By this point in their presidencies, Donald Trump and Barack Obama had already had several. Washington County is on pace to set a record for the most overdose deaths in a single year. In a little over an hour, the DEA, Washington Hospital, and Poison Control will address the troubling trend. Look for developing details tonight on Channel 11 News starting at 5. And Pennsylvania as a state has seen a rise in overdoses since the start of the pandemic. There was a 19% increase across the state last year. In February, Governor Wolf extended the state's opioid disaster declaration for the 13th time. A Westmoreland County ambulance service is getting ready to close down. According to our partners at the Trib, Rescue 14 EMS in Adamsburg will officially close next week and will stop responding to calls on April 1st. Rescue 14 covers Adamsburg, Arona, and parts of Hempfield Township. This is part of the station's merger with Greensburg-based Mutual Aid Ambulance Service. PennDOT's CAP project is starting to take shape. We've been covering this story for years, and it's been a year and a half since crews started work to build a park over I-579 near the old Civic Arena. And this is a massive undertaking. Channel 11's Mike Holden shows us the process being made.
The CAP project is taking shape right here in downtown Pittsburgh. As you can see, crews have been hard at work transforming this space with a bright vision for folks who work and play downtown. Piles of dirt, rubble, and construction fencing will soon be a thing of the past. The I-579 CAP project is moving full steam ahead and starting to look like that of a park. The site near the former Civic Arena in downtown has been a year and a half in the making, thanks to a nearly $30 million facelift. Crews have spent that time capping off the once open highway area by adding a roof and turning it into a full-scale park with future trails and other amenities. Drivers had to deal with various restrictions while construction continues, but folks who frequent this area say they're excited to see the finished product.
I think it'll benefit the area very well because of the opportunities that exist with the developments that are going on up to uptown. I think it'll link them together to where so people could definitely benefit from having walking space, different amenities.
And we will, of course, continue to track the progress of the CAP project. In the meantime, a big focus of this is connecting the Golden Triangle to the Hill District, how they're planning on doing that and what community members say is essential moving forward. For Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting downtown, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
Some good news to report on the latest employment numbers. New claims unexpectedly fell last week, showing signs that hiring has picked up. 684,000 Americans filed for unemployment for the first time, and that is the first time that number has been below 700,000 since the pandemic began.
Across the area this afternoon, showers developing. I'm tracking where you'll see some thunderstorms by this evening.
All I remember is waking up in the ambulance and just being really confused, like, what is going on?
Her dog jumped into action, how it likely saved the owner's life.
It's crazy. Sometimes trying to get out of the driveway is crazy because they just come so fast.
They say the road is dangerous. The thing that's missing that could save a life. 2 days ago, a biker was critically injured when his motorcycle crashed with an SUV on Jefferson Road in Penn Hills, not far from an elementary school. And while police have not released much about that crash, we've learned from neighbors that speeding is a problem on that roadway. Channel 11's Amy Hudak has their plea for drivers.
And I mean, they are flying probably 50, 60 miles an hour. It's crazy. I mean, like you said, there's a school right there. And sometimes trying to get out of the driveway is crazy because they just come so fast.
Neighbors along Jefferson Road say the speeding has to stop.
Very fast, like they do not pay attention to their speed. It's just horrible. I mean, even when my siblings go outside to play in the grass, I still have to pay attention.
Tuesday, right outside of Penn Hills Elementary School, neighbors and a school bus full of little kids witnessed a horrific crash between a motorcycle and SUV.
It was very scary.
We were even here before the police officer, and we weren't sure what happened. And my grandson says, "Grandma, I think there's a motorcycle there."
Neighbors, including a nurse, ran to help. Families along Jefferson Road say something is missing. On this stretch, you won't find a school sign, children crossing sign, not even a flashing light.
They could put signs up, more signs about how fast people are going, watch out for children, it's a school zone. I mean, they have it for the other schools, but the elementary school.
Neighbors say they want to see some changes, maybe even a crossing guard.
We used to have a blinking light. I would like to see that come back.
In the meantime, they're pleading with drivers after what they witnessed Tuesday.
Please slow down. For sure.
You want it to stop before it happens to a little kid.
Right. Or anybody else. Anybody else.
Amy Hudak, Channel 11 News.
And the last we heard, the motorcyclist was in critical condition with life-threatening injuries. We reached out to the municipality of Penn Hills to see if they're considering doing anything to change this roadway. We were told that stretch of Jefferson Road is a state road and it's out of their hands. The effort to block a PennDOT bridge toll plan is gaining even more support. The Associated Pennsylvania Constructors fear that it would drive up costs. PennDOT's plan looks to toll 9 bridges across the state, including the I-79 bridge in Bridgeville. The extra money would go toward road and bridge repairs. The Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association also opposes the tolls, and the state Senate is working on a bill that would block any future fees. A former emergency management official at Pitt is accused of selling stolen personal protective equipment. FBI investigators say Christopher Casamento stole more than 13,000 pieces of PPE from the school. They say he then sold them on eBay at the beginning of the pandemic, making more than $18,000.
He stole them from Pitt and tried to profit from the pandemic in a time when everybody's suffering.
Pitt fired Casamento in July and says it cooperated with the FBI's investigation and conducted its own internal review. A new proposal would stop bans on certain books. It's called the Grinch Act. Backers say it would protect classic authors and literature from cancel culture. It was created after Dr. Seuss Enterprises announced that its plans to stop publishing 6 children's books accused of having racial overtones. The act would withhold student support funding from state and local agencies who ban books. Sesame Street is introducing 2 new puppets, a black father and a son. Sesame Workshop says it's part of an effort to help children understand racial literacy. According to a recent study commissioned by Sesame Workshop, racism was top of mind for nearly half the children surveyed. Parts of central Texas were hit by large hail during an intense spring storm yesterday. This video is from just northwest of Austin. The large ice balls covered the ground like a blanket of snow. The hail fell as the town was under a tornado watch. Fortunately, a twister did not touch down.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
There's going to be many more tornado watches today for places like Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, even into Georgia. For us, could have a stronger thunderstorm tonight, but not expecting anything widespread. Here's a live look at our PennDOT camera. I-79 Deer Run Road. What I wanted to show you was the cloud cover that continues to build. Now, temperatures are already very mild, 68 in Pittsburgh and in Beaver right now, 70 in Greensburg, and as that cloud cover continues to move in, we won't go up a whole lot more today. Notice back to the southwest, A lot of clouds streaming ahead of the next storm system. That's the same storm system that's bringing the widespread severe weather to the mid and deep south. Around here this afternoon, pretty good for the playground the next couple of hours. By 6, we'll start to see rain showers in the area. Pockets of heavy rain at times this evening and overnight tonight. It is not going to rain nonstop, but if you do catch one of the stronger thunderstorms, could get some wind gusts in excess of 55 miles per hour. Obviously, with any thunderstorm, there are going to be some lightning strikes. Right now, the best chance of an isolated severe thunderstorm, basically from Lawrence County, Allegheny County, Westmoreland County on southwest. And I want to emphasize the word isolated. Right now, looking at the latest dynamics, it doesn't look like we'll see anything widespread, but a couple thunderstorms will pop early this evening, then again overnight. 1 or 2 of them could be strong. So keep in mind, if a severe thunderstorm warning is issued, that means severe thunderstorm is happening or about to happen. So seek shelter immediately. If a watch is issued later today or tonight, severe thunderstorms are possible. Just have a safety plan in place. You can always get the latest forecast with the Severe Weather Team 11 app, WPXI, weatherapp.com. Free download also at iTunes and Google Play for the latest alerts from Severe Weather Team 11. Here's Storm Tracker this afternoon. Cloud cover continuing to thicken up, and by the time we get to 5 o'clock, starting to pop some showers. Some of these areas of yellow could be some embedded thunderstorms this evening. Wave 1 moves to the north this evening, then a break before another wave starts to move in the wee hours of the morning. That could spark a couple thunderstorms around 2, maybe 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. Because of the thunderstorms tonight, because of the high winds tomorrow, watching for the potential for power outages, a fairly moderate risk from Pittsburgh northwest, where winds could gust 55 to 60 miles per hour during the day tomorrow. Think about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Wind gust in Pittsburgh about 55 miles per hour. We'll taper off in the afternoon, but from about 2 tonight to 2 tomorrow afternoon, some strong winds. That's why a high wind watch is in effect. And if you want to head out walking tomorrow, a lot of wind, temperatures much cooler in the 50s for much of the day tomorrow. 5-day forecast for the weekend. Always, if you will start with the weekend, partly sunny on Saturday, 66. Rain showers Sunday, 59. Monday, bit cooler in 55 degrees. I will be updating the severe weather risk across the area coming up next half hour.
It's been really hard for all the workers in Market Square.
Downtown Pittsburgh empty for more than a year now. The new attractions aimed at putting Pittsburgh on the path to recovery.
All I remember is waking up in the ambulance and just being really confused, like what is going on?
And first, her dog jumps into action, how she likely saved her owner's life. This dog is truly her owner's best friend. She helped save the woman after she had a sudden medical emergency during a walk. A neighbor's security camera there shows the dog springing into action. Colton Prail takes us through the rescue.
Meet Clover, a 1.5-year-old Maremma mix. Haley Moore and her family rescued her as a puppy. Tuesday morning, Clover returned the favor.
So all I remember is waking up in the ambulance and just being really confused, like what is going on?
Haley was walking through her Stittsville neighborhood with Clover when she had a sudden seizure. With no one around, Clover sprung into action, first checking on Haley, then watching as a passing car drove by. It wouldn't happen a second time. After freeing herself from her leash, Clover forced the next vehicle to stop and help.
It was really impressive. The dog Clover actually blocked my way. She kind of backed into the road to block the truck.
Dryden Oatway immediately did his best.
So I rang the closest doorbell as many times as possible, and ran back to her and flipped her over on her back and just tried to keep her head straight. And
it wasn't long before Clover caught the attention of another neighbor.
Good thing they have the dog, because she's a very good friend to her.
Haley was treated by paramedics, and while they're not sure what caused the emergency, Haley knows if it happens again, Clover is there to protect her.
I feel 10 times safer, and I know she will be there for me.
The family dog quickly becoming the family hero.
And Diane comes home with a couple of big steaks, and I thought, wow, this is great. I'm getting a steak. And she said, no, it's for Clover, for doing such a great job.
Man's best friend, now Haley's as well.
You know how good animals are, and she is a really amazing dog, and I love her so to death.
Definitely deserves some extra pampering and treats there. Another sign that we are on the path to recovery.
I need to get people in here.
More jobs are opening up. The positions businesses, large and small, want to fill. Plus, the plan to bring a COVID-19 vaccination site to this local mall.
Well, some updating storm tracker to pinpoint when showers and thunderstorms will roll into your neighborhood.
Another warm day, but rain is heading our way, and we could see some thunderstorms. Meteorologist Scott Harbaugh is pinpointing the timing now in Severe Weather Center 11.
Yeah, Gordon, some of that rain fairly substantial down through Kentucky and Virginia right now. Notice the areas of yellow and orange indicating some heavier rain, and that is what is heading in our direction for later today and tonight. Notice Storm Tracker 2 this afternoon. We're quiet. I expect us to be quiet through about mid-afternoon. Then here come the showers. 5 o'clock. Rain into Pittsburgh. Notice a couple clusters of yellow and orange showing up. Could be an embedded thunderstorm or two as this first wave moves through this evening, and then we'll quiet down by the time we get to about 8 or 8:30. At least quiet down for a couple of hours. 74 for the high temperature today with that late day shower or storm. Better chance of thunderstorms overnight tonight, and I'm putting together a map right now to show you where winds could top 60 miles per hour tomorrow morning. I'll have that for you coming up this half hour.
All right, thanks, Scott. The White House announced today it is dedicating another $10 billion to boost COVID vaccines. The money is part of the coronavirus relief package passed earlier this month. Much of the money is for community centers in rural and low-income neighborhoods. Our Jacqueline Fell is in Washington to break down how that money will be divided.
The Biden administration says the goal is to expand vaccine access to low-income, rural, and minority communities that have been hit the hardest by this pandemic. These groups are also at the highest risk of infection and death from the virus. So most of the money, about $6 billion, will fund 1,400 community health centers to expand COVID-19 testing, vaccinations, and treatment. The administration is also partnering with dialysis clinics to target kidney patients. The announcement also expands vaccine eligibility to all frontline workers and people aged 16 and over with high-risk medical conditions. Billions of dollars will also go toward making people feel more confident about the vaccine.
There's still a lot of vaccine hesitancy there, and that's something that, we're here to really talk about to help and try and assuage some of those fears.
The administration is trying to pick up the pace of vaccinations, especially as new variants of the virus keep popping up. In Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
Butler Health System plans to move its COVID-19 vaccination site from Butler Memorial Hospital to the old Sears store at Clearview Mall. Channel 11's Jillian Hartman found out why the health system says that move is necessary.
Well, the Clearview Mall here in Center Township will very soon be the new home for the Butler Health System's COVID-19 vaccination site, which will help almost double the number of people getting vaccinated each day. A lot of folks are getting in line to get the COVID-19 vaccine. This was a line outside Butler Memorial Hospital Wednesday afternoon. But starting April 14th, the Butler Health System is moving its vaccination site to the Clearview Mall at the former Sears location. The chief nursing officer, Karen Allen, told me why they chose to relocate.
So there's a couple reasons. One is there's a lot of congestion. We're putting through 1,600 people per day now.
She says the parking lot is always packed at the hospital, so the mall has a lot more space, which will help with traffic. It's also convenient.
So a lot of people are very familiar with the Clearview Mall. It's very accessible off of Route 8, off of 422. You can get there.
Another big reason for the move is that a lot more doses may be available soon.
The Department of Health actually sends us more vaccine. We're going to be prepared to give 3,000 vaccines per day.
However, I did ask her what folks should do if they already received their first dose.
Today is the day that you would be getting your second dose there for the first time. So we're notifying everybody as they're coming through the clinic today that they will report there at the mall for their second dose.
She also says anyone from any county currently in the 1A category can sign up to get the vaccine.
We just put 16,000 slots out today for April. So today would be a great day to go on there and get a spot.
Now, for more information on how to register to get the vaccine, just head over to our website at WPXI.com. Reporting in Center Township, I'm Jillian Hartman, Channel 11 News.
Can you get COVID-19 after you're vaccinated? A new study says it's rare, but it can happen. California researchers looked at more than 36,000 healthcare workers who had received at least one dose of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine. Among the over 28,000 workers who received both doses, a total of 37 people tested positive, but only 7 of those infections happened at least 15 days after that second shot.
Are much busier, more job opportunities are out there.
As restrictions ease and businesses reopen, more jobs are opening up. Right now, Pennsylvania's unemployment rate is at 7.3%. From part-time to full-time jobs, businesses are on the hunt for employees, but filling those open positions might be harder than you think. We talked to a recruiter who says that specialized jobs are competitive right now, and they're seeing more openings than possible job candidates. He adds the pandemic is partly to blame because a lot of people still don't feel comfortable working away from home.
Actually, the trends recently, the vast majority of the roles that we're seeing right now are requiring candidates to come on site.
A small business owner we talked to said that she reduced her store hours because she's having trouble finding people to work. 2 local colleges are making it easier to move from one campus to the other. Westmoreland Community College students will save 20% on tuition if they enroll at Cal U. It's for people who earn associate's degrees in arts, fine arts, science, applied science, or early childhood education. Pope Francis has ordered salary cuts for cardinals and clerics to save the jobs of other church employees. The Pope reduced the pay of cardinals by 10%. Cardinals who work at the Vatican are believed to get salaries of about $4,700 to $5,900 a month. Many live in large apartments at below market rents. A top Vatican official said the worldwide Catholic Church may have to tap its reserves for the second straight year as the COVID-19 pandemic burns through its finances. A skyscraper-sized cargo ship is wedged across Egypt's Suez Canal, and it is impacting shipping around the world. At least 150 other vessels needing to pass through the crucial waterway are waiting for the all-clear.
Alligators and crocodiles do not make the best pets.
A citywide crackdown, but what if you already own one? The new effort to keep these rare reptiles safe. Plus, the new numbers showing how much crooks are benefiting from the pandemic. With warmer weather moving in, a lot of us are getting outdoors, and that could include a trip to the zoo. Several visitors have raised COVID safety concerns. One woman said she felt unsafe. She says it was a combination of big crowds and a lack of mask wearing. She says she left after about an hour. The zoo sent us a statement saying masks are required both indoors and outdoors. They notify guests of their mask policy and have a staff member whose sole responsibility is to move throughout the park, reminding visitors of the policy. COVID-related fraud has cost Americans nearly $400 million, and that's just the fraud the government knows about. Almost 220,000 people have filed a coronavirus-related fraud report with the Federal Trade Commission since January of 2020. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau has gotten nearly 550,000 pandemic-related complaints in the last year. The Labor Department just launched a website for people whose stolen information was used to claim fraudulent unemployment benefits. You can find out more information about that on the WPXI News app. The owner of a reptile rescue is on a mission now after Pittsburgh City Council voted to ban owning alligators, crocodiles, and red-eared sliders. Nathan Lysa has been in the animal and reptile rescue business for 7 years. You're exempt from this new ban if you've owned a reptile 6 months before the ordinance is enacted. City Council says those pets must also have $1 million in insurance coverage, among other things. Lysa is afraid, though, the new ban will lead to owners killing their pets or setting them free.
We're offering to take in these animals, give them the proper home and care that they need. And anything that's even too large for us to deal with, we do have contacts in southern states that are able to assist us.
So far, Lysa has taken in dozens of turtles, several baby alligators, and other reptiles. His new mission is finding them homes.
Showers just a couple hours away. I'm pinpointing where you'll see winds gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour.
It's been really hard for all the workers in Market Square.
Downtown Pittsburgh empty for more than a year now. The new attractions aimed at putting Pittsburgh on the path to recovery. Downtown business owners are hoping you will return. It's the heart of our great city, but the pandemic led to empty streets, storefronts, and office buildings. Our Serafina James walks us through the new attractions that aim to breathe new life back into Pittsburgh neighborhoods.
On Wednesday, the sun was shining, a symbol of what's new on the horizon for downtown Pittsburgh. At one point, the pandemic had the once bustling streets of downtown almost unrecognizable, and some businesses on the brink of closure.
We did shut down and then go back up and then shut down again, so it's been really hard for all the workers in Market Square.
But according to the Pittsburgh Downtown Partnership, change is on the way. The nonprofit recently unveiled a list of initiatives they say will revive and hopefully reestablish the downtown area, like using more minority-owned businesses and adding pop-up park the Allegheny Overlook along Fort Duquesne Boulevard this June. Other planned projects are targeted towards Market Square and include farmers markets, yoga, live music, and the return of Light Up Night.
To have people come back, we feel like really blessed, honestly, because we can really now make ends meet.
Ashton Williams, manager of Las Vegas and Market Square, tells me after the rocky year they experienced, she's hoping the latest initiatives will breathe new life into the business.
I'm just happy that things are turning around, so I hope they do more.
And a few blocks away, the Pittsburgh Ballet is doing more. On Wednesday, they announced that their intermission is over.
They will be launching Open Air, a celebration of the performing arts.
After COVID caused a temporary curtain call, the ballet's executive director, Harris Ferris, says they're ready to welcome their audience back, but not necessarily into the theater.
The main thing has been able to, keep the dancers dancing, keep the creativity happening, even if it's happening in non-traditional ways.
They're taking their performance on the road and outside with the use of their mobile stage. Beginning in May, the 2-week series will be held at Flagstaff Hill in Shenley Park.
With space for hundreds and hundreds of people to come out and see not only Pittsburgh Ballet Theater, but 22 other performing arts groups that will be sharing the stage with us.
In Pittsburgh, Serafina James, Channel 11 News.
The CDC is advising against non-essential travel over the spring and summer, but we all know many people are eager to take a vacation. And if that includes you and your family, there are some questions you might need to ask before booking your trips. First, check with your hotel to find out if the facilities, such as the pool and restaurant, are even open. Hotels may also have new protocols like virtual check-ins. And if you're flying, be prepared for changes.
Not all the in-flight amenities are going to be available. So are food and beverages available for you? That's something you need to contact the airlines to understand.
The CDC recommends 1 to 3 days before a trip to take a coronavirus test and keep a copy of your negative test results with you. The agency also advises that you get tested again 3 to 5 days after your return and self-quarantine for 7 days.
Your severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Well, if you want to head outdoors this afternoon, we still have several more hours of dry weather. 68 degrees right now. Slav looking to downtown Pittsburgh right now. You can see barely any shake to the trees at all. Wind officially right now is calm. 70 degrees in Greensburg and in Morgantown, 68 in Butler. Mild afternoon once again today. Normal high, about 52 degrees. We'll be up into the 70s in much of the area. Clouds do continue to work their way in from southwest to northeast. Major storm system is going to cut to our northwest tonight. Out ahead of it, rain and even a couple thunderstorms. So if you want to get the kids out to the playground, probably good through about 4, maybe 4:30. Then the showers will start to move in. Pockets of heavy rain tonight, 55+ mile-per-hour gusts. Not just with any thunderstorm that forms, but also late tonight into tomorrow. We're going to see some really strong winds around here. Wind gusts between about 3 o'clock tomorrow morning and 2 tomorrow afternoon will be in that 50 to 60 mile-per-hour range. And any storm that does form could bring us some lightning strikes. Best chance of severe weather, Pittsburgh on southwest. And again, isolated severe storms. That means 1 or 2 storms could have some wind gusts in excess of 58 miles per hour. But those would be the exception rather than the rule. Still, don't be surprised if you do hear some thunder overnight tonight. Here's Storm Tracker, and again, this afternoon, starting to pop a couple showers. These areas of yellow and orange showing up, maybe a quick thunderstorm in a spot or two. Round 1 starts to head out by about 8 o'clock tonight. Then during the overnight hours, we'll bring in some more showers and thunderstorms, and some of those could pop some strong thunderstorms, especially northwest of Pittsburgh. Then the wind is really going to start to pick up. Here are the wind gusts tomorrow morning as we're hitting the air on Channel 11 Morning News. Not bad. 23 miles per hour Pittsburgh, 27 Butler. Quickly, by the time we get to 8:30 in the morning, 51 mile per hour wind gusts in Pittsburgh, 56 in Newcastle. And as we approach the noontime hour tomorrow, could be a 62 mile per hour wind gust in Pittsburgh, 62 in Uniontown, and 60 in Greensburg. I do expect spotty power outages tomorrow morning because of those strong winds that are going to be with us for several hours and finally diminish during the afternoon. By the time we get to the early evening hours, wind gusts down to 30 to 40 miles per hour. That means if garbage days tomorrow, expect to find the garbage can down the street. It won't take much either once those cans are empty tomorrow morning. Taking a walk during the day tomorrow, wind really pushing through about 1, 2 in the afternoon. Later in the day begins to taper off, and temperatures most of the day will be in the 50s. 66 for the high temperature Saturday. Pretty good looking day. Rain on Sunday, but most of it will be in the morning. So as we check out the rest of your 5-day forecast with your weekend always in view, don't cancel any afternoon plans just yet on Sunday. Morning plans will be wet. That does include Palm Sunday services this weekend. Keep in mind it will be wet more than likely on your way to church. Monday, sunshine, cooler, a high of 55.
Lowe's has a new springtime promotion, free Garden to Go project kits that can be picked up curbside. Every week in April, the home improvement chain will give away different themed kits to families who register in advance. Sign-ups start April 1st. In addition to free gardening kits, Lowe's is offering deals, product demonstrations, and a campaign called Home Trip, which offers advice on how to turn homes into destinations.
Hey guys, I have something I guarantee you're going to love, because let me tell you, I got this out of the packaging, I started trying it, and all of my people who work for me came up to the office and were like, hey, I need one of those. Hey, I want one of those. Hey, can I have one of those? What am I talking about? This is Reathlete. It's a company that I'm sure you've heard about. They're on social media. Everybody's talking about them. It's the hottest ticket because this concept of percussive therapy is one of the hottest concepts going right now. You're going to have your choice of some different models. We have the Deep 4, we have the Fold, and it's going to come with, by the way, different attachments, which I absolutely love. So this is one that you're going to charge. When you charge, you're going to find whatever attachment you want, and then you're going to decide where you want this therapy. Physical therapists started out using this. Professional sports trainers use this on professional athletes. Then the athletes were using it, and then personal trainers in gyms are using it. And this is what everybody's talking about. So now I have it in here, right? All charged. I'm going to hold this for a minute. Huh? This is percussive therapy. This is almost like a deep tissue, but you're controlling it. This is going to be an unbelievable pinpoint massage. You know how you get all the tension right up here? Wait, hold on. Oh my, yeah. I'm sorry, am I ignoring you? So this is amazing. Now, there's a lot of great options on localsteels.com. There's even more great options than what I'm showing you here. But here's the deal. You wake up funny, you sit too long, your back hurts, you overdid it in the gym. Anyone would love this. Everyone would love this. You can do this while you're watching TV. You can do this anytime, day or night. Here's what I love. These can be extremely investment oriented. If you go to localsteels.com right now, they're 20 to 49% off. Do yourself a favor, make yourself happy. Trust me, you will love it.
The bald eagle population is soaring. There are now more than 300,000 in the lower 48. That's according to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. The boom is the result of a decades-long effort to save the birds. Back in 1963, there were just 417 nesting pairs in the U.S. Today, there are 71,000. Included in that number is the pair of bald eagles in Pittsburgh's Hayes neighborhood. This is a live look there. 2 eaglets just hatched in the nest this week. One of the eaglets is still unhatched, and that egg is still in the nest. Are we able to see one of the birds? Down below, okay? Down below, we can see one of the eaglets, I guess. We'll have to keep an eye on that. You'll be able to take the family to some historical sites across the state pretty soon. The Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission is going to open places back up, like the Bushy Run Battlefield in Jeanette, the Erie Maritime Museum, and the Somerset Historical Center. You can go starting April 30th. They'll have limited hours and capacity depending on the location. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast is tonight at 5. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
WPXI is proud to partner with UPMC to present Community Matters.
Poison control centers and